Hey guys, glad you're here. So in the Traveler's Notebook forum, I posted a picture of some DIY vinyl dashboards that I made for myself. And I actually sell them on Etsy. I ended up purchasing a machine doohickey thing in order to make them for myself, and I figured, hey, let's sell them on Etsy. But before I went on to purchase that machine, I actually ended up trying several methods, some of them which failed miserably. I burnt the vinyl and my house smelled really, really bad. But I did come across a few methods that actually did work, and not good enough for me to sell in my Etsy shop, but it worked. And for a DIY project, I thought it was okay, that's pretty awesome. So I figured I'd show you guys some of the methods, the ones that did work. I'm gonna be listing the stuff that I used in the comments. This is real life, okay? I'm gonna be listing it down in the description area for you guys to check out for each method, because I'm gonna show you several methods of how to do it. And I'm gonna be using stuff that most of us should have, or can probably maybe give you an idea to see what else you guys can use instead of what I have. So in regards to the vinyl, where did I purchase the vinyl? The vinyl I actually pick up at either Joann Fabrics. You can get it at Walmart. I've seen it at the flea market. You can also order it online. You can get the big rolls for $99, and but that's, I don't know if anybody wants to buy the big roll for $99. That's up to you. And in regards to the gauge, the type of vinyl that you want to use, the bigger the gauge, the more stiff it's going to be. So for protecting papers and for a dashboard, you could go with like a 16 gauge or a 20 gauge. Stuff that's, in the 4 gauge and whatnot, it's a little bit more squishy. I personally like my dashboards squishy. I don't know why, it's just my preference. But if you guys are gonna do this for yourself, you can decide on whatever gauge you want, or just pick up whatever you find. And yeah, if this helps you guys, give me a thumbs up. Help support my craft, because my husband just gets tired of spending money on me. All right, so I'm gonna flip you guys around. I'm gonna show you, and like I said, I'll list the materials and the stuff in the description box below. Okay, let's do it. Okay, so you guys are gonna have to forgive the crappy, wherever it does get crappy recording, because I don't have one of those cameras where I get to see what's going on. Here, I've roughly cut 3 pieces. The big piece is basically the size of your insert laying flat, with an extra 0.25 inches, a quarter of an inch on the width. The height is exactly what your insert height would be. And the reason why you want that quarter of an inch is so that when you put down your 2 side panels, it gives you that little gap in the middle. And the 2 side panel pieces, that's basically the size of your insert closed. So like for a pocket size insert, the field notes is a 3.5 by 5.5. Well, that's what I would cut for the side pockets, is 3.5 by 5.5. And for the big piece, I would cut the 5.5 by 7.25. I hope that makes sense. If not, I can type it up for you. You let me know. You talk to me. Talk to me. Okay, so here I'm going to show you guys the fuse tool. Now, I'm going to be honest. I love my fuse tool. I love it for, Project Life and shaker cards and all that stuff. But for the vinyl, it's not my favorite. It does work. It'll fuse your pieces together, but it's not strong. At least it's not strong like I would like it to be. If you use the fuse tool, you're going to have to go very slow, because you got to give it time to melt the vinyl and have that first layer attached to the second layer. And we're going. We're going. We're going to get there. Yay, we made it. So here I'm gonna I'm attempting to show you guys how it leaves that little dash line, but like I said, my camera isn't doing a very good job of focusing, and I'm sorry, but yeah, it leaves a little dash line, and I'm not a fan of it for my dashboards. Okay, so for the second method, I'm going to use a, what do you call these things? A grilling press. You can use it to like put it on your bacon and or on your burger patties when you're grilling. I have this glass one that I use. And what I'm doing is I'm putting it on top of the vinyl, and I'm basically just leaving a little tiny bit of the vinyl sticking out. And I'm going to take the heat gun to it, and the little sliver of vinyl that's poking out from underneath the press is going to melt. Now, what I'm looking for to know that it's melted and it's fused, you'll be able to tell the plastic, it basically kind of does like this little warping thing, and I was kneeling down and I was looking at it because the ends, you'll be able to tell how it goes from being two pieces to one, kind of like when you're embossing powder on a card. It does that same thing. You can tell when it kind of shifts and it changes, and it even picks up like that glass look, like the press, that color. It does that. It's really, really pretty actually. Out of all my methods for my TNs, I would want this just because it looks pretty. Now here I showed you what not to do. Do not take the press and press it down on the board because it gives you a scuff mark. It doesn't look pretty at all. So I'm going to show you now what to do instead of pressing down on it on a rough surface. Going to melt it down. This is a different edge. We're going to melt it down. It's starting to warp. And then you're going to put it on a flat surface and just let it sit. It's nice and cool. It'll cool down, and then leave it for like about 15 seconds. And then take it off. Now the reason why you don't want to press down on it is because it's melted plastic. So if you press down on it, the plastic actually, it spreads out. And like I said, this is actually my favorite because like I said, it gives it like a glass edge look, and I just like it. I'm weird like that. I find beauty in the strangest places. Okay, now the next method is using the straightening iron, and this one is actually going to give you the cleanest edge by far. And you want to put your heat settings on low, on the lowest settings possible, because vinyl, it actually has a very low melting point. It's like 136 degrees Fahrenheit, I believe. It's a very low melting fuse point. And you're going to take some parchment paper and you're going to fold that parchment paper in half. And I'm a little bit off camera here, but you'll be able to see what I'm doing. See, I'm folding it in half, creating a crease there. And then I'm going to take the vinyl and I'm going to, the edge that I'm fusing, I'm going to put it in the fold of the parchment paper. Now, since these were a rough cut, I noticed that, I had to basically cut it so that it was straight in order to do the demonstration, because it just, as rough as it might be, it wasn't going to really work if I left that jagged edge that was folding over. So I'm just going to quickly cut it here so that I can show you how I fused it. Alright, so So it's cut now. We're going to tuck it in. And my straightening iron is ready to go. And I'm going to pick that up. And I'm going to clamp my straightening iron shut. And I'm just going to press the edge along the side of the straightening iron where the two plates meet. And I'm just going to go back and forth, back and forth. I'm not too afraid I'm not too scared of melting the vinyl with this because it's the lowest setting, but you do want to be careful because I had it on a higher setting and I did end up melting the plastic onto my flat iron the first couple of times. It came right off though because it's a non-stick. And here what I'm doing is I'm basically looking at the edge, looking for that melted fuse that you'll be able to tell. I believe me, you'll be able to tell. You'll be able to tell when it goes from two separate pieces to that one melted. And like I said, it gets like that glassy edge to it. And because it is on a low setting, there's more room for error. So if it didn't fuse properly or if I wasn't satisfied, I could go back and just keep hitting it with the heat. And again, you guys, if you're going to do this, you want to be careful about, using too high of a heat and about burning the plastic, because you don't want to, once you burn the plastic, that's releasing gases and you don't want to be inhaling that stuff. So you want to be careful about how far you push the vinyl with the heat. Okay, and there it is. I am satisfied with it now. Voila. But like I said, even though there's less control with using the glass press, that's still my favorite. I just really like the little, I don't know why, I just like it. That's why I DIY, because I like the look of DIY. It just gives your stuff that personal touch. It makes it yours, And then as we get through this, I want to show you guys, I want you guys to see how I wanted you guys to see how the fuse tool really didn't work that very well. But it's off camera. And my finger actually poked through the fuse tool. Like I said, it's not my favorite, but it's something, right? See there, my finger poked through. And what I'm going to attempt to do is I'm going to attempt to go at it again with the fuse tool. And now I do have to warn you guys that if you guys go over the vinyl several times with the fuse tool, what it ends up doing, it ends up creating like this gummy, cloudy edge to it, even worse than the dashes. So it's not very pretty. And we're going for pretty, right? Are we going for pretty? Let me know. Are we going to pretty? Alright guys, so I hope that helped. Sorry it took me all day long to get this video up for you. If you were one of the few people who commented on the post that I put up on the forum. It's, mommy life and the kids can just make one simple task drag all day long. So hope these ideas help. Good luck with your DIYs, and that's it for now. God bless. Tell them how much time you take up. Huh? Look at that camera and tell them. Huh? You and your sisters. How much time? Tell them. No le vas a decir. Huh? You don't want to talk. No? No. Oi, oi.